Hey there, I'm Mr. Terry, a high school history teacher. Welcome back to another History Teacher Reacts video. In today's video, I'm checking out something that is interesting me, and it's unlike anything I've covered yet on this channel. So I've become aware of this thing called the Sovereign Citizen Movement. Now, I don't know much about it. From the little bits that I've heard, it seems like it could be relevant to me speaking about history. And all I really know is that these people that claim to be a part of it, or whether they claim to or not, don't think laws apply to them. So I wanted to check out kind of the beliefs and especially the tie to anything historical that these people claim. So to do that, I'm checking out a video that's really blown up this last month, and it's by a channel called Beside the Dying Fire. And the video title is called The Wild World of Sovereign Citizens. Now, this is going to be one of those things that I'm sure if you're watching this, you know way more about it than I do. So I'll probably ask a bunch of questions and help me understand this. Now, this original video is nearly an hour, so I'm not going to do all of it right now, but if you definitely want to see a part 2 of this, please let me know. All right, the original video link is down below. You can check that out. Make sure you support the original creator there, and hopefully I can earn your sub too. All right, let's get started.
Picture this scenario.
Discretion advised.
You're driving along when in your rearview mirror you see a flash of red and blue lights appear behind you.
Oh, I hate that.
Immediately you check your speedometer. You're driving a little over the speed limit, but nothing that could warrant you being pulled over. You weren't swerving,
Okay.
You signaled all of your lane changes, there's no warrant out for your arrest, so you quickly conclude that the flashing red and blue lights of the police cruiser behind you couldn't possibly be for you. However, as you continue driving, the police car behind you picks up speed and settles in very close to your rear bumper. Yup, you're being pulled over.
Busted.
You safely pull your car to the side of the road, keeping both of your hands on the wheel just like everyone says you should do, and anxiously await for the officer to approach your window. As the officer approaches, you instinctively roll your window down in order to engage in dialogue with the police officer. After a brief introduction, he informs you that your right brake light is out. He then collects your license and registration before making his way back to his cruiser to run your information.
Brake light's one of those things that's kind of hard because, like, when you're on your own, like, you don't check your own brake light. Like, it's one of those things that somebody has to tell you. You know, you hope it's someone you know, but if it's, you know, police officer, I mean, I could see, you know, that's something very common police officers would have to deal with.
After
but
a
is the
couple of
punishment
minutes,
going to be
the
bad?
officer returns, gives you back your identification card and registration. He tells you to get your brake light fixed as soon as possible, and also makes a comment to slow down a bit as he clocked you going a little over the speed limit.
All right.
Relieved that this run-in with law enforcement seems to have concluded with very little drama, you thank the officer and drive off.
Fair enough.
This little scenario is a somewhat typical example of the type of interaction you might expect if you get pulled over, although mileage may vary. And while we've all seen what happens when power-hungry or racist police officers pull individuals over due to profiling or false pretenses and the damage and violence that can cause, it's safe to say that many typical police stops occur without incident.
Yeah.
But then,
Yes.
you have stops like this.
Kidnapped! Get out of the car! I've been kidnapped! I've been kidnapped! Look, I have been kidnapped. Look at this. You're recording this.
Kidnapped?
I've been kidnapped. I haven't done anything wrong. Get out of the car! I haven't done anything wrong. I haven't done anything wrong. I haven't done anything wrong. I'm being beaten. I got him. Oh, he beat me. Oh! Stop resisting! Oh, I haven't resisted nothing. Oh.
Step out of the car.
Man, cameras, you know, like body cams, and then I could see here that, you know, people filming themselves. It's made these whole interactions so wild, you know what I mean, where you can see them and you have multiple perspectives. I mean, that's always a good thing for accountability purposes.
You're taking me out of the car for what? Your tickets are signed. I haven't gotten my copy yet.
Step out of the car.
No, I don't even feel safe around you. Nope.
Step out of the car.
Nope.
Uh-oh.
Nope. Nope. He really did it.
Whoa. Dude, he just pulled off. The cop just pulled the window with his bare hands. Now, in that last one, the guy said he got his ticket and just wanted to get going. Fire. Why are they blocking them? Oh, they're breaking the glass because the guy won't come out?
Okay, I'm not resisting. I just want you to know you guys are falsely imprisoning me.
Doesn't want to come out of the car. Is that something common for sovereign citizens? They refuse to get out of the cars.
Get on the.
These bundles of joy are sovereign citizens, and in this video we'll be breaking down what sovereign citizens believe, analyzing their actions in public, mainly their interactions with law enforcement, and gauging their threat level as it pertains to public safety, as well as seeing a large-scale, real-life example of what happens when a sovereign citizen defends themselves in a courtroom. This is the wild world of sovereign citizens.
Like when you get to the courtroom, though, I feel like that's not something you're gonna win. I'm interested to just hear the arguments, though, or whatever. Is there actually a legal basis for the things these guys are saying, like not getting out of your car at a stop if you're asked by the officer? They're called sovereign citizens.
Pursuant to the Articles of Confederation, you can look it up. It's in the United States Book of Codes. It is your laws you have to follow.
She's mentioned the Articles of Confederation. Now, the Articles of Confederation was what the United States, after the Revolutionary War, the very first kind of set of national laws, I guess, that that states were bound to, and they were very vague, and there was very few of them. However, those were basically replaced by the United States Constitution, as they saw the Articles of Confederation didn't have a lot of power and was creating problems. Like they couldn't like relegate like cross-state trade. Like that's just for one. But it did do, you know, some things, but there were still problems with like money and again in trade and other things. But the point is that the Articles of Confederation were basically replaced by the Constitution. So is this person going to be saying that the since the Articles of Confederation are still the supreme law, like they haven't been or replaced or something like that? So to do that, can you also say you're under the Constitution and the Articles of Confederation at the same time? Anyways, I'm interested to hear this. This is just my thoughts. And again, as a history teacher, I'm trying to tell you guys the connection if they're trying to make them to history there. But Articles of Confederation didn't last long. They were replaced.
I haven't done anything wrong. I'm not breaking any laws. Open the door. Man.
So they film themselves.
Don't do it, man. It's not even my truck.
I know, well, then open the door.
Man, this is absurd. I can't believe you would do this.
It's almost like laughing.
Stand back.
No.
Dude, that could be dangerous.
Shit.
I mean, I guess what do you do, though? If you're the cop, they won't comply. I'm assuming in these instances, and maybe we'll see more of them, that they weren't complying with other stuff, you know, showing maybe your license, registration, and being, I don't know, the belligerent, or I don't know, then maybe not be belligerent or not, but ooh. Now, I'm wondering, again, because they film themselves, they obviously distrust the cops and stuff, want to get it on tape. But a question I would have right now is, do these people also like want to be arrested so they could like put this stuff in public? Is that a thing?
So a good place to start is to define what a sovereign citizen is.
Good.
In short, someone who classifies themselves as a sovereign citizen believes that the government, typically the United States government, is illegitimate. They believe that the government does not have the power to create laws that dictate what individuals can and cannot do. In some cases, they follow their own interpretation of existing laws, dismissing laws and regulation that they deem inappropriate or unjust.
So is it a thing where it's like they reject all laws or just like some laws? Is it hypocritical at all?
Many publications deem them as anti-government extremists. The FBI took that classification a step further and has actually deemed them domestic terrorists.
Oh, wow.
There are certainly
nuances. Do they cause harm? That's a thing. They attack. Like, is that something they do?
To the sovereign citizen belief system,
non-compliance.
And how they behave may vary from person to person and individual to individual. But in order to see how their thinking patterns play out in the real world, we're going to take a look at some footage of sovereign citizens interacting with law enforcement.
Is this like a real thing they put on their car? It looks like a license plate. No driver license or insurance required. Private, not for commerce use. Private mode of travel. Peace on earth, goodwill towards man. Interesting. So they don't believe, in state laws? They believe in maybe the Articles of Confederation, but not like state laws?
Now, it's certainly possible that you've seen some of the videos of these individuals before. And if you have seen multiple of these videos, You might notice a pattern emerge regarding how a sovereign citizen reacts to being confronted by a police officer. We'll look at a typical example and break down his actions.
That little plate they had, though, by the way, is
Hello.
just asking to get pulled
So,
over.
right off the bat, some things I'll point out here. Number one, the sovereign citizen, aka the guy in the car, is filming himself. Now, based on the interaction to follow, you might think, well, wouldn't filming yourself just provide more evidence that you were not cooperative when approached by law enforcement?
I bet they think it's because they want to get documented. They believe mistreatment or something like that, I would think. They're not like intentionally trying to incriminate themselves. Again, unless they want to get like arrested, they're intentionally doing this to like make public their platform.
Making your life that much more difficult when you inevitably get arrested and charged, as well as providing fodder for millions of people to mock you online? Yeah.
By the way, just in case I forget, if they don't say it and I forget, when did this kind of thing start? Has it always been a thing? Is it just getting more popularity now? If you know the history, like, help me out there. How long has this been like a real thing? This sovereign citizen thing?
Yes, of course it would. However, quite people to mock you online? Yes, of course it would. However, quite a few sovereign citizens will film themselves being uncooperative with law enforcement, in the true belief that their video is proof that they are in the right, that their interpretation of the law is the accurate one, and that the police officer is the one violating their rights.
So they're genuine.
The second thing I want you to take note of is this. You'll notice that he only has his window rolled down a few inches in order to speak to the officer. This is such a hallmark of sovereign citizens getting pulled over, they might as well trademark it. The argument they make is that they are not legally obligated to roll their window down all the way, and that being asked to do so is a violation of their rights.
But do they believe in the law or not? Any of the laws?
Therefore, they only roll down the window just enough to have a two-way conversation with the officer outside the vehicle.
Is it? Okay, so it's like, are they playing on words here? Roll down the window, but like, you didn't say how much.
How are you doing?
Good, how are you doing?
Oh gosh.
Great, how are you?
Good.
We're being recorded just for you know.
Oh, you're being
this
recorded
guy,
as well?
he
I put him on e-rake.
he looks
so the reason
excited
I'm stopping
actually
you is
about
because
this.
you don't have a
Oh, the reason I'm stopping you is because you don't have a
license
license plate.
And I don't see a temp tag.
Can I know why I need one?
Why it's required
By whom?
by the state of Oregon.
Well, can you tell me who the state of Oregon is?
I don't know how to
What?
answer that question.
Oh, do you see he's kind of giving these like, where is it? Hold on.
I don't know
He
how
gave
to
this
answer that
look.
question.
That right there. He's looking at the camera like, I got her. Is that what's kind of happening here? Is this like a prideful thing?
I mean, I do have the right. I do have the right to use the highways and byways, right?
You do? Do you have a valid license
License to do what?
to drive?
Oh, wait, is he
Oh.
playing? Okay, is he playing dumb, or is he like trying to show that he knows more than the officer?
Oh yeah, I'm not driving.
Like
You
she
are
should,
driving.
like
I
this
saw
should
you
be
driving.
weird.
No, I'm traveling. I'm not engaged in any commercial activity.
Wait, what did he say?
What?
I'm driving, not traveling.
Oh well, yeah, I'm not driving.
You are driving. I saw you driving.
No, I'm traveling. I'm not engaged in any commercial activity.
I'm traveling. I'm not driving, I'm traveling. So what does driving mean to him? You can be doing both. You can be traveling and driving at the same time. They're not incompatible words.
Another trademark of sovereign citizens is their love of semantics. They will be as disagreeable
like I said,
as possible, taking every word said literally and contradicting it.
But not saying it literally, but using it, defining it in a way that fits them.
Driving? Oh, I'm not driving. I'm traveling. This is meant to give off the appearance of superiority, to make the officer think, oh, I'm not dealing with some average citizen with little to no in-depth knowledge of local laws and regulations. I'm dealing with a guy who knows what he's talking about.
That's
Only
the exact
he
opposite
doesn't.
effect that this cop is having. I guarantee that cop right there is like, gosh, man, this guy's smart. He really knows. Like, we've actually been tricking people and that. It's right if they're not actually driving. They can say they're not driving. I feel like they're going to be it's like they're talking past each other.
I don't
Wait.
understand.
This said,
He doesn't.
in legal terms, driving typically refers to a person who's operating a vehicle that travels from one location to another. Traveling often refers to moving in a vehicle as the passenger and not the driver. That doesn't make any. Oh, wait. There's a legal precedent. There's actually a legal precedent for this. Is that what they're saying? Because in legal terms, the person, so you're in the car. Traveling often refers to moving in a vehicle as the passenger and not the driver. No, but he is the driver. He's not just the passenger. He's actually operating it. So doesn't this definition that he's using, isn't that inaccurate?
I don't understand. You can be driving and not engaging in commercial activity.
Right.
It could be for personal business.
It's not a business at all.
Nope.
I
She said
understand
personal business.
Okay.
So
Using the
I'm
word-
just telling you why I'm stopping you. Okay?
Oh,
No license plate and no temp permit, right? So that's why I'm stopping you.
okay.
He's acting like he doesn't know what she's talking about, but it sounds like he perfectly does. He's just trying to use a word game.
I'm gonna ask you for your license, registration, proof of insurance.
And I respectfully decline. I don't know why you would be needing that,
I need to make sure that you can drive on the highway here.
but I'm not
But
driving.
I'm not.
You were
Oh,
driving.
look at that.
at
Do you
the
see
time.
that? Smart Alec.
Well, like, okay, what
Oh,
leads? I mean, I don't really don't want to be rude or disrespectful. I'm just, I'm trying to understand why you would need a license.
But he's acting like he could. I feel like he could skip all this by saying, actually, what the law says is this and this, but he's doing this thing where he's like he's never experienced this or never heard of this. Like he's from another planet. You know what I mean?
To do something I have the right to do.
I'm talking too much. Sorry.
Well, it's a privilege, right?
Well, no, absolutely. Driving is a privilege. Absolutely, I agree with there. Okay.
Okay.
I agree.
So you don't want to give me that?
Well, I mean, I don't have one because I don't drive.
But you were driving when I saw you.
No, miss, I
don't want to argue about whether or not
He needs
you
to
were driving,
clarify
right?
it.
right.
instead
No, I
of
don't
just
either.
doing that.
I'm trying to. I want to help as much as I can.
You're not help. He's not helping her though. I want
I
to
want to
hear
help as
him.
much as I can.
I want to hear him explain
Can
why.
I get, sorry, your name and badge number?
Officer Bunyabat?
Government
Can you
citizen
say it
collects
slower?
information with
It's
law.
pretty
Yeah.
long.
Now that is something you can get from an officer is ask for their name and their badge number, and they should be able to say it.
Bunyabat.
Hopefully, it's to protect people from, if like people impersonating a police officer. Although I wonder if people that impersonate police officers just make up their own thing anyway. It's not like you would hear that and be like, oh, I know that's a legitimate number or something.
Bunyavat, okay. C. Bunyavat, do you have a number? The personnel number?
58425.
58425? Okay, thank you very much.
Tiger Police Department.
Yeah. So I'd really like to just be free to travel down the road.
I have to make sure that you
Sure, but you
have,
can't drive
you
the
have
car.
proper documentation to do so.
Oh,
Right, so
can
that
I
includes having a valid driver license.
can I ask what makes you think I'm engaged in commercial activity?
That's not why I'm stopping you, and that's not what I
So
think that's irrelevant to the stop.
I think otherwise.
He's still acting like they both
Commercial activity?
yeah.
know what each other means.
At this point, you're probably beginning to understand a little more of the thought process of people who subscribe to the sovereign citizen way of thinking.
For sure.
It is modus operandi to be as disagreeable as possible and as non-compliant as possible, all while maintaining the appearance of still following the law, no matter how ridiculous it ends up sounding. It would be like me going up to you while you're having lunch and saying, "Hey, what are you eating there?" And you saying, actually, I'm not eating. I'm inserting food into my mouth, masticating, and then swallowing to allow my
Exactly.
stomach acids to digest the food. I'm not eating.
Exactly.
To which
Two things can be true at once.
the response would be, "Cool story, bro. Enjoy the sandwich."
So why do you think I'm curious about that? Why are you asking me about that?
Why don't you know the difference? That's what I'm wondering.
Is asking question with a question.
My right and a privilege.
I don't understand.
Well, why would you think that I don't have the right to use my property?
So, I'm not disputing that, right?
Okay.
I am conducting a traffic stop.
Okay.
I pulled you over because you don't have a license plate or a temporary permit.
Certainly.
She said she'd probably say something because, like, it's under law, like state law or something like that. You know what I mean? She's just saying the same things, even though I know he's playing dumb.
Okay.
He
now
knows
I need
exactly
to make
what
sure
she's
that you
talking.
have the proper documentation to operate a vehicle on a public highway.
And I heard what you said, but I'm confused as far as you keep saying I'm operating a vehicle on the
You
highways.
were operating a vehicle at the time I
Yes.
stopped you. Okay?
Okay, I get
Okay,
what
this
you're
is
saying.
interesting because now she's not using the word driving. And she's using operating a vehicle. So, is he going to be able to counter that?
But I don't understand what makes you think I'm engaged in commercial activity.
She didn't say that.
At no point did I say I think you're engaged in commercial activity.
So this is where he should say,
So why
that's the only reason you
the
can
inquiry?
pull me
Why what?
over.
Why the inquiry then?
There's no inquiry into any commercial anything. All I need is
He's
your
not helping
license,
her at all.
registration, proof of insurance.
He's trying to prove that he knows more about something.
Is there something you don't want to tell me?
No, I'm trying to cooperate. So I got a can of, can I reach for this? This is just a can of artichokes.
Okay.
An empty
I'm
can.
curious what that was.
Empty
What?
can of artichokes.
Can I get your
Ew.
name at least?
I use the name Adams, from time to time. I've been known to use the name Adam.
Okay.
Putting
What does that mean? Do the sovereign citizens not go by names? Or do they just want to hide their identity so they don't get in trouble? That was a weird way to say it, too.
Putting aside how insufferable he is to listen to and how we've played with a more comedic tone up to this point in the
Yeah, he
video,
has.
it's also worthy to note that these people are a community with a network of communication. They share information, experiences, and ideas on how to be as obnoxious as possible. There are scripts that exist that tell sovereign
want this to
citizens
be
how they should
difficult.
behave when pulled over, how they should respond to certain questions, and what their demeanor should be, and what lingo and jargon they should use. Can I reach for my can of artichokes is what you get when you have either forgotten what you're supposed to say, or the script that you studied before getting pulled over didn't cover the current flow of conversation.
So they're scripted, and they have to stick to the script. Otherwise, their whole line of reasoning fails. Interesting. So if you have a cop that knows this script, that's been experienced with it, it's going to make it really interesting to see how they respond, huh? It doesn't seem like this woman knows, this officer knows. Might be her first time dealing with someone like this.
Adams,
But I would assume that as time goes on, if this becomes more and more popular, it's going to be talked and into training in officers and things.
is there a reason you don't want to give me your information?
Do you suspect me of a crime?
No, I'm pulling you over for a traffic stop. That's not a crime, it's a violation.
Okay.
Mantix, can you handle this?
Okay?
I
So
think.
can I please get some identification? Otherwise,
Will I be in trouble if I decline?
you will be detained for the purposes of me trying to identify you. And
Man,
that
I feel like this is the fork in the road for this guy. Is he going to go through with it? Is he willing to be detained? Or is he going to
is so
back
I can
down?
give you a citation.
A citation for what?
You already
Well,
heard this.
You're not proving that you have valid driving
You already
privileges.
said this.
You're not providing me proof of insurance, which is required for operating a vehicle upon a public highway in registration, which has to be in the vehicle at all
She's
times.
being really patient, by the way.
Okay, now with that said,
Cite your law. Cite something, dude.
I'm not committing a crime yet.
Yet? Are you?
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. You don't suspect me of a crime yet.
Should I?
Yeah, now
That's what I'm saying. I'm clarifying. You don't suspect me of a crime right now.
No, this is a violation.
Okay.
It sounds suspect.
I pulled you over for a traffic violation.
Unless I'm being arrested for something, I would like to remain private.
Okay, so, like I said, if you choose to do so, you will be detained so that I can identify you for the purposes of issuing you a citation.
But you see, I don't understand the citation. If I haven't committed a crime, who is charging me?
Adams, Can you please just give me
We're
something?
speaking in
That's
circles
what
now.
I'm trying to understand before I give you something that I have the right to remain. What do you call it? Private.
See, if you're, I
Okay.
think if you're an officer here, especially if you don't know this script or whatever, you would be highly suspect that this person has something to hide. You know what I mean? And yeah,
Right? No? I mean, I don't want to get violent. I don't want you guys to get violent at all. I'm trying to prevent this. You guys are supposed to de-escalate.
Absolutely.
Right. And unless I've committed a crime, I don't believe, unless you can show me the law that requires me to prove something to you
finally he said something
without suspecting me
more
of a
productive.
crime.
As the original uploader of this footage points out in his own analysis of this video, Oregon Law Revised Statute 807.570 entitled Failure to Carry or Present License clearly states that an individual is in violation if they fail to produce a license after being lawfully stopped by an officer. This just emphasizes the point that more often than not, these guys really have no idea what they're saying, and no real knowledge of the laws they are desperately trying to find loopholes for.
I don't know though. I feel like this guy knows that though. I think he knows that. He knows that that's a thing. He knows that that's a thing, but he doesn't think it's valid. And that's what it seems like if you're this guy, you should be doing. Like, bring up some historical law or something, you know what I mean? Let's hear the, jurisdiction argument.
I'd like to decline and remain private. I'd really like my privacy. And that's really all. I'm a peaceful person. I don't want to
Not
get
up
into
to you
Paper for
anymore.
anything, Adams?
paper for what?
Have you ever been in trouble with the law?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay. Because
Not to your knowledge.
just from our brief conversation
Yep.
in our interaction, it's very odd.
Is it?
It is.
Yeah.
What's
don't-
odd about it?
You
Do I like
know
my privacy?
This
That
guy
you're not
knows.
identifying yourself.
Okay, can I get your name and wait, and your home address?
I'm not asking for your home address.
But it would be on an ID, wouldn't it?
It would be.
Okay, can I have your identification?
No, you're not stopping me for anything. Are you a peace officer?
Are you aware that it's the United States Code that if you're requesting something from me, that I can get the information that you're requesting from me from you? We can
Wait. If he doesn't think that other law applies to him, these state laws or whatever of license and registration, why is he now citing other United States laws? Are some laws, help me out with this, are there some laws that are legitimate and some aren't? And what are the differences between those? Like, are state laws illegitimate, but like federal laws are?
exchange information.
This is not a request for exchange of information. This is me asking you for your information. Okay, I am acting as a peace officer
She got him
of
off
the law.
script.
A peace officer. I hope you remain peaceful.
I hope
Okay.
you remain peaceful as well.
I can't hear you very well. Would you mind
You
just
can play.
opening
Oh,
the
okay,
door?
he's got
I
back
do
up.
mind, yeah.
You what?
I do mind, yes. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Thank you though for asking, yeah.
Adams.
Adam,
I-
sorry.
Oh.
Sorry. Adam, just Adam.
Okay. I'd love to just figure this out.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to figure out whatever it's
So
you
what
require of me
is
to.
it- What is it that you're having a problem with?
I'm trying to figure out what you guys have a problem with.
No, he's done this
I've-
twice now. He's off script. This is hurting him,
The problem
man.
is that you don't have a license plate or a temporary tag.
Can you show me something where to travel?
Is this guy,
Absolutely. Let me.
y'all that have studied this, is this guy doing a good job as a sovereign citizen, or is this like a guy that's bad? Would better sovereign citizens be able to pull up a bunch of other things other than just these very kind of, I don't know, they're kind of weak, right? Like, he's just using circular logic.
requires me to?
Yes. It's called the Oregon Revised Statutes.
Oh, statute. Okay, a statute, not a law, a statute.
Of
semantics.
Oregon, the state of Oregon.
Semantics.
Who's
Semantics.
the state of Oregon?
Who's the state of Oregon?
Yeah. And how do?
Are you a sovereign citizen?
What would make you think that?
Just asking a question.
Oh, he
I-
asked him if he's a sovereign. Okay, the other guy knows. Do they ever say that? Is that something you admit to? Or is it something you deny? Is it something you deny even though you are that? Like being called a hipster? The thing so many people are, but nobody claims to be.
Yeah, I really decline to answer questions. I mean,
He's off
That's-
script.
Just wondering if that's how you
Struggling
identify
with it.
yourself as.
I don't know why you would think that. I'm completely peaceful. I have no ill intention.
He doesn't need to
I
say keep
appreciate
saying
that.
that.
I'm like I said, if you guys,
Do you happen to think you might have like a warrant or something like that? Because we can always
I don't know what he's saying.
But right now,
is there something that makes you think I have a warrant? Did I do something that makes? Okay. Okay.
Yes,
but often
yes.
people
I would be very
withhold
suspect.
information because of that, and right now, just so you know, the jail's not taking many people for warrants. So
No, I see that. I know that, but it's not about that. It's about
Your privacy.
It's about my privacy, and if you guys want to exchange information, if you want to give me your information, I may
You may
Do
want-
it.
I
Do
may decide to exchange, but
Adam, do you have any weapons in the vehicle?
I do not. I do not.
Thank you.
Yeah, no.
Okay. So he
No,
answers
I don't. I don't believe in weapons. There's no need for them. I try. You know, you live by the gun, you buy the.
He's
die by the gun,
sounding
so,
uneasy now.
So I just, you know.
He doesn't sound
I
as
don't do
confident
weapons.
anymore.
Okay.
I'm hoping you guys don't get violent here. Like
That is
if you
not
guys,
our
if your intention is to get violent, I will.
So,
you know-
the reason we have 3 officers is for officer safety, okay?
Okay, can you
Don't
think
ask the
about
same
this.
question you already
Think
have.
about this. You guys are all armed.
You'll notice he's mentioned quite a few times already, I hope you guys don't get violent, which he says in a very don't throw me in the briar patch kind of manner. Our friend Ol Adams has been involved in the sovereign citizen movement long enough to have an inkling of how these confrontations typically end.
I would assume.
Many sovereign citizens consider it sort of a badge of honor to have law enforcement take physical action against them, as if this means that they won the engagement.
Yeah, I
In
see.
reality, this just means
This is a competition, isn't it? It's a competition between this guy and the officers, and it's probably a competition between other sovereign citizens. Like you say, a badge of honor. Like tell one, yep, I resisted and I got detained.
they're going to jail. And with that, I think you've seen enough of what this is all about, and we're going to skip ahead a little bit.
Okay, yeah. I don't want to hear any more of this.
And you're aiding and abetting. Break my
Okay,
windows, and
he's
I'm not
getting
going to be happy. You
getting
guys,
upset.
you guys will be liable for it. You cut my safety strap, dude, and you're going to pay for it. Putting
he's
this down. I'm getting out because I'm being threatened. You're threatening me, correct?
Okay, he's gonna get out.
You're threatening me? Are you threatening me? I want to know. I want to know if I need to get out. I don't want to use violence. I don't want to use violence. Are you threatening me? Are you threatening? Only if you're threatening me. Okay!
Whoa! He's freaking out. You hear him screaming? He's screaming.
So, do you
When he got
remember at the
detained
beginning
there.
of this video when I asked you to picture what ultimately ended up being a fairly mundane, routine traffic stop? For a true believer of the sovereign citizen mindset,
jeez.
you have just witnessed what a routine
What'd you
traffic
say,
stop
Fourth
would look
Amendment?
like for just one of these rays of sunshine. But all in all, the way things
say down
ended
there?
for Adams in this video is
Think
slightly
so.
more calm than the way things end for other sovereign citizens.
Now you're going, okay, I need you to call and I need you to get your supervisor out here. I need your supervisor out here.
That's something you can request, is have a supervisor, another witness there. But I would assume that that doesn't help these guys in their situation usually. Like, does the supervisor ever come over and be like, oh, this guy should be able to walk free? You know what I mean?
I need your supervisor. I am asking him for his supervisor.
Oh, he's breaking it before
I'm
that?
asking you for your supervisor.
Is that legal for that cop to do?
Okay, officer, I'm asking you for your supervisor to come out here. Now you have busted my vehicle up, and now you are going to detain me. You are illegally getting into my vehicle, and now you have taken my phone.
Are you gonna identify yourself?
I do not have to.
Oh.
Open my door. You have no right to fucking touch me. You guys have kidnapped our child.
What?
No, I'm leaving.
Oh.
Don't get in front of me. You're pulling your gun on me? Okay, he's pulling his gun on me. Everybody, I have not done anything criminally wrong.
Who's gonna
He's
leave the
pulling his
scene?
gun on me. No. No.
That's bad news. That's when you get in a chase. Bad things oh, man.
It's off. Parking brakes on. I'm no threat. I'm no threat. They're pointing their guns at me just because I don't have the right plates on my car. That's why.
Well, you were leaving.
I'm not getting out of my personal vehicle, my personal consumer good. You're gonna have to break in my personal vehicle and kidnap me. That's what's gonna happen.
Please don't make us break your vehicle.
Listen, hey, listen. Do what y'all need to do.
He wants it to happen.
I'm not getting out of my personal vehicle. Take it as far as you need to take it.
He wants it to happen almost.
Get all of it.
In short, a sovereign citizen behaves under the idea that they have a deeper knowledge of the law than everyone else, even police officers. The idea that they are the ones who should determine what is just and what is fair.
I want to see that, like with the deep knowledge thing. I want to see them, you know, have precedent, like explain precedent and stuff like that. Like that first guy we were saying, he didn't like, he just was like pretending to act dumb. Like let's see them pull up law. Let's see them pull up, history. All that.
They will frequently misuse and misquote laws and amendments. They will disregard and not comply with standard law enforcement procedure. They have an obsession with semantics, an overly defensive nature. All of these are hallmarks of a sovereign citizen.
Like cite precedent, do something. Cite precedent from court cases, Supreme Court, whatever.
Now, all of this is well and good. However, the idea of being a sovereign citizen goes well beyond traffic stops and moving infractions. This line of thinking is even used by those who commit some of the most heinous crimes.
Oh. Because right now I was just thinking it was like just a thing to get out of traffic tickets, even though I don't think it would work. But it's much more... All right, if you want to see me cover more of this, let me know. Put a comment down below. Of course, like the video. I'd definitely be interested in seeing this, but especially if you all want to do this. And again, I'm hoping I can bring up, if they bring up anything historically that I know of, I want to try to bring it up, but I'm really interested in this, but let me know down below.